Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sasi Prasad and I am a technical architect in Salesforce Marketing Cloud. Today in this session, we'll discuss how you can retrieve your automation and how you can start your automation using AMPScript. I have already compiled this blog. You can come to my Medium channel and read this blog for yourself. If you scroll down to my blog, here I have the full code. So let me copy this code and paste it in the VS Code. So this is my AMPScript block where I have leveraged SOAP API to first retrieve the automation information and then start that automation. So at line number 4, I'm assigning a automation name to an AMPScript variable. Then what I'm going to do next is to create an object of type RetrieveRequest. Now, this particular object has been initialized. We need to assign certain properties to this object. So the first thing what we have done is we have assigned an object type automation. So we are trying to retrieve an automation object. And what are the properties that we want to retrieve? It would be name and the custom key. You can add other properties if you want. Next, what we have done is we want to filter this particular retrieve request based on certain condition. So here, what I've done is I've assigned the property as name. I've used a simple operator equals, and the value would be the automation name that we have assigned at line number 4. Once this particular definition for the filter is defined, we would add as the property for the retrieve request that we created at line number 7. Once all this definition for this retrieve request is defined, we are going to retrieve the automation via InvokeRetrieve function. Once this InvokeRetrieve function is called or invoked, we'll get a response. Now, from line number 25 to line number 55, what we are trying to do is to validate if that response has any output or not. If the response row count is greater than 0, it means we have some valid response. Else, we are simply going to output a message saying that no automation was found with that specified name. Here it is SOAP API automation. If we find any response, what we are going to do, we are going to retrieve the row, the first row of that response, and then assign the custom key and the name to an AMPScript variable. And then we are going to print the name and the customer key for that automation. Till this part, what we are trying to do is to just retrieve the automation and print the output, the properties of that automation. Once this is done, the next task, what I have done here is to invoke or perform the start operation for that automation. So at line number 35, I have created another object called automation. And at line number 37, I have created another object called client ID. So to initialize this client ID, I have assigned two properties, ID and user ID. And once this is initialized, at line number 42, I have assigned that client ID to that automation object. Similarly, at line number 41, I have assigned the custom key to that automation, and the value that I've assigned is the retrieved customer key, which is here at line number 27. Now, once my initialization of this automation object is done, what I'm going to do next is to call the InvokePerform function. With this InvokePerform function, I'm going to start the automation and validate the status. If the status is not okay, I would say because of certain issue, this automation did not start. Else I'll show a message saying, okay. Oh, this particular code you have understood. Now let me copy this code and let me go to my Marketing Cloud instance. This is my Marketing Cloud instance, and let me go to Cloud Pages. Let me create a collection called automations. And under my collection, let me create a code resource and say AMPScript automation via source API. Let me paste the code. Let me save and publish. But before running this code, I also need to validate if I have an automation called SOAP API automation. So let me duplicate this tab. Let me navigate to Automation Studio. And here I don't have any automation. So what I'm going to do next is create a folder called SOAP API. And under this folder, I'm going to create an automation and give a name as SOAP API automation. Let me configure the schedule. Let's give a start date, let's say 22nd of September, hourly, and end is never. And click on done. Next, I'm going to add one query activity. Let me create one query activity, say SOAP API query. Let me validate the syntax. Everything's fine. Let me say next, update, and let me select another data extension, which is similar to the VWAP trigger send, and I select a VWAP journey send, and click next and finish. So my automation is configured. Let me save and activate this automation. So this automation basically will run starting tomorrow. Now let me go to the code resource, which I've already published, and let me click on the URL. So I got the automation name and the custom key. Let us go to the automation, and you see the automation starts running. So my automation was triggered. The start time still states that it's going to start from 22nd September 11:40. Nothing has changed. So now let me again go back to my code resource and click on this code resource. Right? Now let me go to this automation, and you can see this automation have started again. And for the last time, I'm going to show you again. So I'm going to again click on this URL. I'm going to go back to my automation and see it says start running. That's it for today. If you like this video, give a thumbs up. If you have any queries or concern, please do let me know in the video comment section. I'm definitely going to reply to your queries. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.